Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Sidelines Unite Team Call. I'm Tammy Ray, and I'm just so grateful to be here tonight and just grateful for this call, this platform where we can come together as consultants and just learn what's working from each other, what's not working, and be real and honest with how to grow a business, because there isn't school for network marketing. This is school, is sharing our experiences. And the thing is, the only way to learn is by doing. And so we get to learn from each other, from the people who are out there doing. And sometimes it's, learning from the mistakes. And that's how we learn what works better, is when we do what, doesn't work and share that. So that's what this call is going to be about tonight, is, the bullet points of the Let's Go area. Call number 4 with Linda Parker and Dana Baker. It was fantastic. If you haven't listened to it, I encourage you to listen again, write notes, and implement every word that she talked about. It was so powerful and just classic Linda Parker. We were talking tonight. I don't know if anyone has ever felt like, you know how they say you had me at hello. But often when we're trying to share Arbonne, you lost me at hello, because we just come on too strong. We haven't heard what they're really looking for. We haven't been able to connect how Arbonne could equal their dreams. We haven't been able to connect with them as human beings even at all, or find anything in common. We're just kind of like, pouncing Arbonne on them. And that's the thing. When we lose people at hello, it's hard to get them back. And so, without being vulnerable and honest and real, and, obviously we can go back and apologize and say, oh my goodness, I know I probably blew it, but, of course you can backpedal, but I think it's just a stronger position that we can be in as consultants when we're making those connections up front, finding things that we have in common with people, and really connecting how Arbonne could equal their dreams. And then we're going to be able to sponsor. And I love how amazing Rita Otto, area manager extraordinaire, she was saying, you know what, we have to keep in mind that this one-on-one appointment, it's not about us. This is their time, and time is so valuable. And they're giving us their valuable time. When we're texting out, I know we've talked a lot about the 30 and 30 and how to text people, what to say, how to set up an appointment. But now, now what? I was just talking to Kathy Oakford the other day, and she says, I'm not scared of people saying no to me. I'm scared of people saying yes. Like, what do I do when someone says yes to an appointment? And I just thought that was fantastic. How many of you have felt that way? What do I do when they say yes? So here we go. This is what we're going to kind of dive into and unpack, is what to do when someone says yes, and how to just come across as real, genuine, authentic, and not weird or pushy or, a repellent. So, and again, we're just looking to fact find, and we're really looking for the people who want to improve and change their lives. We're finding the need, we're finding the fit, and then we're going to take them to the next step, whatever that is. And this often is the stuff that can't be scripted, right? We just have to listen and really tune in to what they're saying, and then we'll be able to position Arbonne. So without going on and on, because Rita just has some wonderful things to say, I just want to turn it over to Rita. I'd love for you to just share the turning point from listening to that call, and then share your experience that you had with your one-on-one right after that call, and how it was so different and how it felt different. And I just had a wonderful conversation with Rita, and I can't wait for her to share with all of you. So go ahead, unmute yourself, Rita. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Oh, here, do you want me to unmute you? I got it.
Got it. Okay, sorry. Thank you. And I don't know if anybody's ever used, the Is Arbonne For You sheet, and basically felt like it didn't go very well. You just kind of went over it, and it felt very like, okay, there was my time. And you just felt like it didn't go anywhere. I feel like I was doing that a lot. Like you're doing it, you're just doing through the motions. So when Dana Baker did that call, I literally stopped and had to rewrite and re-listen and rewrite notes because I thought, oh my God, she's spot on. There's just so many things that she's doing brilliantly that we can incorporate into how we need to do it more brilliantly so that those one-on-ones, coffee chats, however you want to talk about it over the phone, are worth their time and are valuable. So it was a huge mindset shift for me in realizing I could do this so much better, because I'm sure we've all felt like you did it, but maybe you could do better. Anybody ever feel like that when you're doing those? Yeah, you're like, I did that, but I really don't know how well that went. Or like Tammy and I were talking, like they're fidgeting in your chair and you can see them, you're like, I think I already lost them, and their time is so valuable. So what, the points she gave, and I'm just going to briefly go over them and then go through how it was just so perfect. I literally listened for that a couple times, and then I wrote down her points. I took a cheat sheet with me, kind of, and how she said to do that. And I took a little sheet with me on my notes because I wanted to kind of have that ready for me to go over. So the first thing she says is to be early, and part of that being early is being prepared, and a lot of times I've done where I'm whisking in right at the time of the appointment, and I don't give myself those few minutes to get calm, get my, everything together. So I really took myself, okay, I'm gonna get there a good half an hour early, be prepared, get everything set up so my mindset is in the right place. Because this, again, is about her time. And she says to listen, number 2, to listen more than you talk. Listening is the key here, because we want to find that need. We want to find out how we can be that connector to their relationship, whether it's going to be them or somebody that they know. And, so many times we hear listen, more than we speak. And that is so huge, especially when you're asking them for their time. Being mindful of their time is the third thing she said. We're asking them for 20 minutes. We can't go in there thinking we're giving them an hour or they're going to give us an hour. And she talks about that. If you got the 20 minutes, good. And if they're willing to give you a few more minutes and they have that time, fine. But getting that permission to get a few more minutes, because everyone's time here, how many times when we're getting these, we work hard to get these, these 30 and 30 calls we're doing, we get them there and we're not going 20 minutes. Does anybody ever go over the 20 minutes when you're doing these? Yeah. And we're not being mindful of them. So then we're going blah, blah, and they're hearing, the Charlie Brown in the background, and we've lost them again. So to be really mindful of that time. And she says the key principles are, to thank them, first of all, when they're there for their time. Have a nice little sample pack, ready for them. Before we start, make sure we ask them a little bit about them, and then put in your why in there. And then, of course, go over the is Arbonne for you. So when she asked them, the thing that hit really home for me was when she said, I want to ask you a couple of non-Arbonne questions before we get started. Again, setting the tone and saying non-Arbonne related questions. Here's what I'd like from you. If you could give me a 2-minute recap of where you've been in the past, like what's been going on in your past, what's going on now, and what your future looks like. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I never do that. I sit down and we just start talking, and we don't really go into what's about them, because you guys, how many people love to tell you about what's going on in their lives? Everybody, right? Everyone wants to tell you a little bit, and we don't ask that, because then we go, oh, and then let me tell you about me, or let me tell you about that. And you know what? No, I've done that. And I go in and I say something, and it's like, no, reel it back in and listen to the question we just asked. Tell me about you. So with that in mind, that's exactly what I did. I listened to the call. I went in. I got there early. I had another little surprise, running into somebody I hadn't seen in like 30 some years that was already connecting with another fellow consultant on my team that just made it more brilliant. Like, okay, I was supposed to be there early. I'm all set. She comes in, and I just said exactly what I said to her. You know what? I just really want to get to know you. And I said, but before I do that, I have this, thank you for your time. And I said, because I appreciate how valuable your time is. And I have those green, lovely little bags, and I had the samples in there. And she looked at it, and she saw how pretty it was. And I said, and I have this for you, and I want to give that to you. But first, I really want to know a little bit more about you. Will you tell me, like, what are your goals in the future? What's going on now? What's important to you? What's gone on? You guys, oh my gosh, that led to a flood of just, oh my gosh, I'm raising my son's daughter. He has eczema. She doesn't know what she's really doing with her life. My other daughter's a cosmetologist. My mother is sick and we had to buy another house. I'm not even sure we can afford it because she's got to come live with us. And you guys, we must have talked. She talked and I listened probably for a good 15 to 20 minutes. And how many did you guys just hear reasons why Arbonne could be a fit for her? Did anybody even hear those? How many? Like 4 maybe, right? And I didn't even get a chance to say anything about anything. She already gave me everything I needed to continue on with our conversation. So during that conversation, we went through, after I got to talk about her, she talked about herself, I actually felt so happy to go through the document. I don't think I've ever felt as happy because I could say, guess what? Do you know what? You know what makes us so different from than all those other companies that maybe you're looking for any of those things you said? We've been around. You know, we're 37 years old and we're not going anywhere. And it led me into, you know, the whole Arbonne is for you and how we could be a fit for her grandson, her daughter, for her. And then went through, you know, the money. I mean, we went through the money part. And so many times I said, you know, I said several times through that short document, because I kept it nice and short, this might not be a fit for you. And I think we need to say that over and over, you guys, because that takes the pressure off of them, because so many times they're feeling like we're trying to get something. And when we just say, you know, I might be able to help your friend or your daughter or whatever, again, they're relieved and they see that you're caring about them. And we've made everything about them, nothing about me. I have products that might help you. I might have products that help your daughter. I have a business opportunity that might help you. I may be able to give you $500 more a month that will help you live in the house that you said you don't know if you can afford. And all of a sudden it makes the whole document so smooth and happy. And I think when we got happy, we have somebody that we've just connected with. And have you ever done these where you feel like you didn't get anywhere? Have you done it and not felt like, yeah, this made me feel so connected. And when I got down to the, are you a 1, a 2, or a 3? She said, oh, I'm a 2. I don't know if I want any value packs or any of this packs, but I know I want to get all this stuff for my family. And I know from there, we talked about me hosting and coming and sharing more of the healthy living with her and her family. I didn't nail that next appointment, but you guys, that's the only thing that she said, Dana said, to make sure you got that next appointment, you nail it. I didn't nail it, but man, I felt good about everything we talked about. And we've already talked since 3 times via text and how we're going to, you know, do our next appointment. So I don't know if that's everything, Tammy, but that's basically what we did.
Wow, Rita, I love it. And you said that she talked about having celiacs, and then she has someone in her family with eczema, and so basically
somebody who wasn't working, daughter wasn't working, one's a cosmetologist.
And so basically your emphasis was on, this may not be a fit for you, but there's certainly something here that I could help, you know, your daughter with, and your whoever has eczema, and, you know, maybe this is something that you could share, because maybe that person would appreciate a way to earn $500 a month or more, you know, having something from home that they can fit around what they're already doing. So I think that's so key what you're saying. And this is such a huge, huge point that I want everyone to hear, is that when we're talking to someone, you want to remember that they might not be the ace, but they might be the one that's going to lead you to someone. So our whole goal for meeting with people is to get into their network. And not that we're, you know what I mean, not get in the network, but meet their network.
You know, let me say we want to meet their people. And when she heard me, when she gave all those things, she wanted to listen to our products and learn about everything more, because she knew I had something that could fit one of her needs. And that's going to lead me to her people, right? Yeah.
Yes. And so picture in your mind that every single person that we're talking to is surrounded by 200 people. It doesn't matter if your next door neighbor is driving a white Mercedes from Arbonne. Their contacts in their phone are different than your contacts. They went to a different high school. They went to a different church. They have different family members, you know? They just have different walks of life. So it's okay. Every single person that we meet is connected to 200 other people. So even if it's not a fit for them, the whole point of doing these one-on-one appointments is to book a get together with people that they know. And, you know, if they don't want to be a consultant, that's great. We can offer you our consultant discount for hosting, you know, and I just appreciate you so much. I'm willing to offer you my discount. And then we're meeting people that we don't know. We're adding people to our 40 faces, right? And that's the whole point, is to get into other people's networks. So perfect. Thank you so much, Rita, for sharing.
You're welcome. It was fun. You guys, it made a one-on-one, a coffee, so fun. I tell you, if you've not listened to that call, listen to it and listen to it again, like Tammy said, because it was just, she's brilliant. Really, it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. And it is. I think that was such a huge piece, don't you, Rita? I think we've, at least I have, you know, being around Arbonne for a while, I've just had it in my mind that we need to get to the point. We need to just get right to Arbonne. We need to be professional and just talk about Arbonne. But sometimes we're missing that connection. And if we don't make a connection, they're gone. So it's better to just find something in common. And this is something we all need to practice and get better at, finding things that you have in common with that person quickly, you know, and then asking them more questions about their life so that you can hear the need and then find a fit and then lay it out how Arbonne could equal their dreams. I love how Dana said, I know exactly how you feel. I felt that way too. What I found is that we work this business in, you know, for example, like if someone says, because we hear this all the time, who hasn't heard, you know, Tammy, it sounds great, but I'm so busy. I have too much on my plate. Rita and I were just talking about how you just want to scream the next time someone says, I'm so busy, because everyone's busy. I get it, you know, and then we can connect with them and say, you know what, I felt the same way. And, you know, I hear you. I felt the same way too. But what I found is we work our business in 15-minute to 30-minute increments. And you fit it around your life. You just have to be intentional, but you can get a lot done in 15 to 30 minutes. And if I could show you how to be very intentional, is that something that you'd be open to? You know, and I love Kat's post from the other day, her $124 phone call that she made on the golf course. I mean, like that's how we do our business. We just have to be intentional and consistent about it. So I love you know, again, so then you're going to connect their objection of time, right? Because that's an objection. You're going to say, well, have you ever thought about doing something like this that could help you have more time? You know, when you're circling back and again, connecting Arbonne to what they're looking for. You know, and again, no matter what they say, our goal is to get in front of their people.
You know, Tammy, I forgot one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you're doing this, then I felt like you guys, we had a relationship. I built a relationship with her, and I felt, I know we're going to talk again. I know I'm going to see you again. What avenue that is in, I felt that way because she got to tell me all about what was important to her, and I could relate Arbonne to her. She felt connected, and we now have a relationship. That felt so good because we know it's all about, we want to talk with people who we want to have a relationship. She can go get Arbonne or whatever she wants from anywhere else. But I found a need and a fit with her, and we have now we made a connection. And that's what this is all about, right? Sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I love it. I wanted to share two different scenarios, and I'd love it if Kendall or Carrie or Kat or, you know, anyone else wants to share things that have worked and not worked. I had someone just recently, and I know you guys are running into this too. I had someone recently say to me, because I asked her if I could share a little bit about Arbonne. I thought she would be amazing at it, and she just pumped the brakes right there and said, you know what, I've been approached by so many people about all different kinds of businesses, and I don't know. You know what I mean? It was just like right at the very beginning. So I love what you said, Rita. You were like, you know, may I show you how a company that's been around for 37 years could possibly be different than these other companies. You know, you could go that route for me, this is someone that's in my town, we're friends. And so I just sort of let off the gas with Arbonne. Of course, it's my lifestyle. I live it. She knows that Arbonne's going to come up. It's not like I'm avoiding Arbonne, but I just didn't, I just let it go. Like, yeah, Arbonne isn't for everybody. I get it. And I personally look for ways to add value to other people's lives before I ask a favor. So we've been watching her dog. She has a puppy. So we've been watching her puppy dog sitting. It's really hard. We love the puppy. So anyway, it's been fun. But she's so grateful and so thankful that we were able to do that. And I posted a video in my VIP group, right? Because we have that. It's sort of like a, for people who are mildly interested with Arbonne, we put them in the group with their permission. And I did a video about what's going on in October. We have free sign up, waiver for PCs and consultants with a qualifying order. And so I talked to her the other day and she says, you know what, it sounds like I need to become a consultant in October because of the deals that are going on. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought she wasn't into this, but she is. She's been watching. She goes, well, I want to stay home and work from home with my dogs. She goes, of course I want to be a consultant. And it's like, oh my goodness, it's just so good, that we're paying attention to people. And again, just being authentic and real. I backed off because she's like, I've already heard this song and dance a time or two, and she wasn't into it. I said, great, respected her right where she was at. This isn't for everybody, and let off the gas. And then, yeah, she's been watching my posts, so that's exciting. The other thing I wanted to share is I did a Zoom like one-on-one yesterday, and it was with someone from Poland, and it was great. I just asked her some questions up front. She's in medical school, and so I was asking her, what are your interests with Arbonne? She was interested in the 30 days, and something in my head just told me to ask her about the business. And I said, well, are you more interested in the products and the nutrition line? I'm happy to talk about that. Or are you a little bit interested in the business too? And she said, yeah, I am interested in the business. So it was like, okay, cool. So I wasn't avoiding the business. I really emphasized it actually and showed how it could be a great fit for someone who's, surrounded by other college students who want healthy fast food at a discount. They're looking for ways to make money, to be healthy, get it at a discount. And then I also, and this is maybe a tip for doing a Zoom one-on-one, we went through the Is Arbonne for You sheet, but then at the end, I played the opportunity video, that 6-minute opportunity video from Arbonne, and I played the one that's in Polish. But even for someone, who doesn't speak another language, just play the opportunity video, because I think it's just like a great way to end a one-on-one appointment. Especially if you don't know them really well, it kind of introduces them to the culture of Arbonne. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a tip. But yes, Kendall, I know you have some things that maybe haven't gone well or that have in all of your 30 and 30 experience.
Absolutely. Have a ton. One of my best tips is to be really upfront. And I'm looking for people who I call high performers. So at this point in my Arbonne career, I want to find my high performers, whether they are a high-end professional or they, have 4 kids and everyone looks clean and their house is immaculate, to their, running their church groups, or they're a runner or an exerciser, whatever they're doing in their life where they are high performing. And so I have a couple of friends who are rocking and rolling, doing their own thing, like yoga, teaching, being an artist. And I am very upfront with them to say, hey, I know Arbonne is not for you. So I just address that elephant in the room in my text. And I said, but I consider, I'm looking to connect with other high performers, and I put you on my list. And I know that you are surrounded by other high performers. Would you have coffee with me so that I could explain to you what I'm doing with Arbonne, and then maybe you could refer me to some people. And so this is kind of like the super indirect technique that Eric Worre talks about. And so I get these appointments with people and they're like, I didn't know Arbonne was all that. I didn't know it was like that. And some of them are saying, you know what, it's still not a fit for me. But now that I know that, I'm going to refer you to my 2 or 3 friends, and I'm going to do it right now with my phone. And I ask them, hey, could you just send us, like, the 3 of us a text? And then that way I'm in the text feed, you know, and I can take it from there. And so I've gotten referrals that way, and I've also gotten them to become shopping consultants or hosts for me. And so I really like that. And then the one thing that doesn't work well is not making a follow-up appointment at the appointment. So, you know, sometimes you do go late, you know, it's longer than a half an hour or whatever. And so then at the end, we're all running out the door to grab our kids or whatever it is to move on. And I realized I forgot to make a follow-up appointment, and then trying to nail down that person to get a follow-up appointment can be hard. So I just suggest everybody, you know, set a timer so that you stay on track on your phone, and make sure you do a follow-up appointment. So those are my 2 tips. I also was thinking when Rita was talking about it, and I'm not sure if there's somebody on here who is excellent at document creation, or if it's something that Tammy and I or Rita and I can work together, but I would like to create a kind of a interview form, because the one thing I do like to do is send people a thank you note after I meet with them, just thanking them for their time. And I've realized I don't have people's addresses. So then I have to text them to get their address. And I just was thinking when Rita was talking, man, it would be so great if we could, you know, at the beginning, get their name, their address, their email, their phone number, and then, you know, make a little note about what they're doing in their life, like Rita shared. You know, I don't know about you, but once you do 30 appointments, you might not be able to remember everyone's thing.
Well, we have the wellness profiles.
Yeah, but it wouldn't necessarily be catered to a 30 asks business appointment. So I don't know if we can alter the wellness profile, but anyway, that's my idea. So if anyone is good at document creation, message me, and then let's get together and we'll work on it.
Love it. Thank you. Appreciate it. I love your directness. I think that puts people at ease when they know what to expect. So, Catherine, Kat, we'd love to hear from you too. Thank you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I just had a one-to-one over the phone. Actually, it wasn't via Zoom. I would have preferred Zoom, but she just wanted to do over the phone, so that was okay. I emailed her the Is Arbonne for You document right before the call. So I told her, you know, I'm going to send that to you. So I didn't want her to open it, you know, I don't know, a few hours ahead of time and start seeing what I was going to talk about. So I was kind of anal about that. But this was a friend of mine from high school, and I hope y'all can hear me okay. I know I have some background noise, but
so you're saying, Kat, that you were on the phone, not on Zoom. So you wanted her to see the document as you were asking her, talking about it. Got it. Okay.
Exactly. So we were Facebook messaging. So I told her, you know, I'm going to email you what I'm going to go over with you right before our call. So if you would just have your email open so we could go over it together. So, because she didn't want to download Zoom and all that. So that was fine. But I would prefer more of this kind of face-to-face, but it still worked out. But this was a friend of mine from high school who I have not spoken to in 25 years. I know that doesn't sound like much of a friend, but we were friends in high school and just have kept in touch, you know, just through Facebook, basically. Hadn't even seen each other at reunions, but had always been thinking about her through my Arbonne business, you know, thinking that she would be great at this, or that at least I'd love to get back in touch with her. So anyway, on the call though, you know, not having spoken to someone in 25 years, trying to keep it to 20 minutes, which is what I promised her. I went to 46 minutes. So I was appalled that I went that long. However, I did get her permission at the 20-minute mark to keep going. So I felt like that was okay, but it still made me a little uneasy because, you know, I'm sitting here promising that I was not going to take up more than 20 minutes of her time. But, you know, we were having a great conversation, catching up. And, you know, the first 8 to 10 minutes was that catch up time, you know, hearing about her kids. She was asking about mine, and I didn't want to rush through that. So I think the good part was that I was reestablishing the connection, the relationship with her, and I didn't just dive into my business having not spoken with her in 2 decades. So I was trying to not make it all about my purpose. You know, I really wanted to find out where she was in life and what she was interested in. So I did spend a good amount of time asking her questions, and that's like Kendall was saying, you know, asking questions, and like we've said throughout this call, really, you know, discovering from that person, where can Arbonne be a fit? And I found out that I had no idea, you know, what products she was using or what she was into, but she uses GNC proteins. So of course I kind of dipped on that I'd love for her to try our products and compare. And she had I remember from high school, she and I both struggled with acne. So she actually still struggles with acne. And thankfully I actually don't because of Arbonne, but so we touched on that. And to make a long story short, you know, we wrapped up the call after I did the Is Arbonne for You? But basically, you know, I got really nervous. This was the awful part, really nervous at the end of that document where you're asking where they are, you know, what on a scale of 1 to 5, where are you? And I really don't know why I got so nervous. I guess I was either excited or nervous. I don't think I was afraid of rejection. I don't know. I just was nervous about what she was going to say. So she ended up kind of falling in all 3. It was funny because she definitely wanted to try the product. That piqued her interest. She wanted me to send her samples of both skincare and nutrition. She wanted to try the products to then consider the business because she said, you know, I'm going to be retiring she's in the reserves. So that would take some income, you know, away from her family. So she said, I'd, you know, love to replace that. And this could be a supplement for me if this is a fit, blah, blah, blah. And she said, and at Christmas time, I have my entire family coming to my house the week after the holidays. You know, I know that's a crazy time, but if you can come down to Atlanta, we'd have like 14 people here for, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, like all 3 are falling into place. So, but I set the next exposure with her. I said, you know, I'd love for you to try the products. I mailed those to her for this past week. And then I told her that I would follow up with her after receiving the products. So we did. We texted this weekend and she had received them and she's going to be trying them. So we're in that phase right now, like the follow up. But the second one-on-one that I did this week, and I won't go through all this story again with that one, but I guess the awful part of it was that I felt like I was so focused on the time for the second one because, you know, I'd run over on the first one. So I was so focused on the time, trying to respect the 20 minutes, that I really didn't ask her as many discovery questions about her as I should have. I did some, but she's a friend of mine, so I felt like I kind of took for granted that I already knew enough about her. So in reflecting about that, I could have done better there and asking questions about her and how this could be a fit. But the good part is that second one-on-one, we've been back in touch because I asked her, I did remember to set the exposure at the end. I try to, because I haven't done that in the past. That's where I've made mistakes in the past. So I've made sure that I've done that with these recent ones and set up the next exposure with her for a conversation this weekend. And she's excited to keep talking. I asked her actually, when I texted her to set up a phone call, I said, you know, I really am not looking for a yes or no right now. I really want you to ask me some questions. You know, surely after our sit down, you have some questions like, how in the world would I get started? Or she had mentioned, you know, I do have a lot of friends, but, you know, what about after that? So I said, you know, let's talk about how you would build a business with people you don't know yet. And she texted back and said, it's funny, those were my exact questions. You know, I've been very prayerful on this, but those questions keep getting in the way of my prayer about it. So, yes, I'd love to talk about it. Let's get together for coffee again. So, anyway, I don't know if that helps, but I've had some awful moments and I've had some great moments. And, but I feel like just, you know, plugging along with the activity, taking the yeses and nos as they come, making sure you ask discovery questions for how this can be a fit, and then making sure you do set that next exposure to get, you know, the answer one way or the other is the way to go. So I hope that helps a little bit.
That was awesome, Kat. Thank you for sharing. I love how you said, I'm not looking for a yes or no. I'd just love for you to ask me some questions. That's a wonderful way to end. And then you can, once you've answered questions, you can ask again, are you a 1, 2, or 3? And really,
Right.
Get a true answer.
Right. I felt like it took some pressure off of her too.
Absolutely.
No,
No,
this
is
more.
awesome. Thank you. That was really valuable. How about, I just wanted to ask, so what are you guys running into? Those of you who are doing the 30 and 30, what kinds of, bumps are you running into? What are your fears? What are what are some things that maybe we could work out? Oh, go ahead, Kristen. Yeah. Here, I can, got
Oh,
it.
I got it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll share because I actually did my 100 texts
Good.
tonight.
Good.
Awesome. And we had Grandma take Gia for the whole day, which made me feel really guilty, but it was worth it because I got it done. But what's surprising for me, because you guys know, like, I've done this so many times, but I never actually got the 100 out. I always got like 17 or 40 or 30. So tonight I was so proud I finally got all of them out. And what was really surprising was the people that actually were on my chicken list for like 18 years, they were like the first ones that responded. I was kicking myself. It was crazy. So my friend who's a chiropractor, I used to work with her years ago, she was like the first one that said yes. A friend that was on my chicken list from college said yes, when's your deadline? Some of the responses I got back right away were either a couple colleagues from work saying, I'm so busy. I hope you'll understand. I just don't think I can squeeze it in. And even I would put the last little disclaimer sentence out because I know I've heard in some people's shares, like, don't take no for an answer. We don't, just put out one more little, hey, I know it's not for you. Like, I already said that in the first email, but she said no. So I said, would you just be, because she said, I don't think it's for me. And I said, would you just be open-minded just to let me share for some like as a soundboard, just as, for feedback. And then again, 2 people I tried that with, and both of them said no. One said, I'm pregnant, I'm too tired. And the other said, I know, I just don't want to, no thank you. And I said, okay, well, thanks for responding. Like, what do you say? You just let it go, right? Lesson release. So,
well, for the pregnant one, I would ask, do you mind if I check back with you in a few months? Or
yeah, and she actually, I know she's interested. She said, I really want to catch a coffee or do lunch with you at work. Yeah. Because she's always asking me, and she's on my I have one of those VIP pages, so she's following, so she knows what's up. She's just doesn't want to do the 20 minutes right now. And I said, okay. Right. And what else was I going to share? What else was the questions? Just how it's going. I'm booking all these appointments, which is great. I have a college friend who said he's amazing, and his wife was interested in looking into this, but she ended up getting into the books thing, Usborne Books. You guys heard of that? And he said he's going to try to schedule it with some colleagues to join in so he can get more people in to help me get 30 in 30 days.
That's awesome.
So that was a bonus too.
Yeah, huge.
So I was trying to think if there was something else that could help you guys. But if I hear it in conversation, I know I have so much I could say, but that was just the gist of it. It's just the one thing I can say last before you guys go is the urge to want to respond when people start popping, you're still going right in these 100, and you'll get some responses right away. And I had that urge was so like, you just want to respond. And you're like, I was like, no, keep going. Like that was hard for me, but I did it.
Good. That's awesome.
So, that's it.
I love it. What about anybody else? Have anything that they're coming up against? Or that was exciting, Kristen. Thank you for sharing. Yay. We can all do this. Wait, who's talking? Where are you? Oh, did someone say something? Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and close out the call, but I hope that was encouraging for you. Just to, again, I love how Rita said it was just so much more relaxed once you made a connection and heard about them, let them talk more at first, and then we can really know how to position Arbonne I tell you what, my appointments are getting much faster just because once I know what they're actually interested in, I can tailor my presentation to that, get to the point, ask them where they're at with everything, and then set up the next appointment. It doesn't have to go on. And believe me, I'm a person who went on for days. So I love too how you said, Rita, that you know, you felt such joy talking to people. And that's one of my favorite quotes is joy is the essence of success. And you guys, we have to get into that zone of feeling so good about offering value, adding value to people's lives, because that's truly what we're doing. And I want you to remember that, you know, yes, we hear about hearing the word no all the time, but to be excited when someone says yes, because this truly can be a huge blessing in people's lives. We all know that, and we've all seen people transform through the blessing of these products and this amazing opportunity. And so just remember that we have this gift, this amazing gift to share. And you guys, we're in October, and I've been in Arbonne a long time. I have never ever seen them do what they're handing us this month: free PC, you know, waiving the free, you know what I'm saying, waiving the fees for PCs and consultants with qualifying orders. So harness this. Use this as a reason to touch base with people and say, I know I talked to you about this before, but Arbonne's the month. Arbonne's the month. You need to do this. This is amazing. I've never seen them offer this before, and just get so excited. And let's just take the pressure off and stop making it so complicated, making it about them, adding value to their lives. And we're just going to rock it. I know we will when we have that mindset. I love how, again, I'm going to read this again. This is Rita's quote. It's not about us. This is their time. Time is so valuable, and they're giving us their valuable time. So how can we, you know, offer them value with what we're sharing with Arbonne? You guys, this is such a blessing, and I truly believe with all my heart that there's never been a better time to be part of Arbonne and to share Arbonne. So thank you so much for being part of this call. Just love you, and please post your wins and what you're experiencing with this 30 and 30. Let's do this together. And I'm so proud of you, Kristen. This is fun. So love you. Thank you for sharing, Rita. Thank you for sharing, Kendall and Kat, and we'll see you again next time. Love you guys. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Tammy.
Yes, thank you. Love you.
Good luck, Kristen. You're rocking.